Hey, what's going on? I'm Bebop, and thanks for stopping by and checking out the video. Today is going to be how to DPS Laz edition. So if you haven't seen my other videos, I'm going through each dungeon, showing you how to DPS in a very simple way to understand, some of my thoughts going through, some of the things I've seen in the past, and my stats and everything are just very basic, simplistic, not to the extreme. So if you want to start off and follow them, feel free to do so and check out those other videos. Right here, this was my first run of the day and I was pretty out of it, so you will see some swing and misses, but we're dealing with double silence in Laz today, and let me tell you, double silence and fire, well, basically the double silence is the easiest, most enjoyable dungeon to run, especially tanks. Tanks love the double silence. It's so easy to deal with. Right now, if you're a tank, you're probably punching air. I am joking, ladies and gentlemen. Double silence is absolutely terrible, and we got to deal with it though. So how do we do that in Laz? I will show you. The greatsword's not affected too much by the silence. You're still going to be doing heavy attacks, and you don't really need your abilities too much. Relentless Rust will help get you the empower going, so that's good. Right here, what I always tell the DPS, when the silence is about to proc, stay either to the left so the tank can pull right, or when what I told them there was when the silence procs, stop swinging. Let the tank keep aggro and pull everything out of the silence. If the silence procs and the tank's trying to pull, he cannot hit to pull them out. And if you keep hitting, they're going to turn on you. You'll blame the tank for losing aggro. And now the random switching of the aggro once you're knocked is probably going to go to the healer. And next thing you know, you got a big problem. So right here, this guy just, bolts out like Usain Bolt over there. I don't know where the hell that enemy was going. I guess he went right to the healer, but came back. Tank did a good job. Right here, stop hitting. Let the tank pull out back right, I always say. You can see the spearman went right to the healer. I try to throw a grab weld to get them to stop moving around as much, and I don't have any aggro on the enemies. A lot of times if somebody goes down, DPS will keep swinging. That's the last thing you want to do. You want to look around, make sure you don't have any aggro on the mobs, and then you can revive. If you're trying to revive and you have aggro, you're going to end up probably getting hit and going down and costing everybody else. So pay attention to that. I think I was using the Blood Drinker ring here. So it's like 25% reduced damage, but 25% leeching increase. Oh, that was so lucky right there. That was the oh my god roll. The triple roll, baby. Tank should have already been moving over, but things happen, so people are learning out there. And right here I say, hey tank, come back. He's got aggro on him and the others are gonna spawn, so he needs to be there. Let him get aggro on everybody real quick. And start swinging away. Uh-oh, aggro. Swing and a miss, B. Wake up! Ooh. Healer's doing a great job of constantly putting down Oblivion, which I love. Helps me get up into the 10 to 13k range with this current setup. I think I went 310 strength at the beginning, just trying something different so I can get to the 200 dex. I usually always go 350 strength, 25 int, and the rest dex, 50 con. Now, I wanted to run the blunderbuss in here, but no one else had a great axe in the group, so I ended up putting on the great axe. So the 50 int really could have been done away with, but I will use the blunderbuss on the bosses, so 25 int would have been sufficient. I'm only going to use the blunderbuss for the bleed and the burn. Man, my dodges on this fire explosion is terrible right now. I'll lock it in here in a little bit, but my goodness. Get warmed up. Right here as a group, you should be proccing silence. Always pay attention to the meter at the top left. You don't want to go into these fights. I mean, if you're just fighting the archer right here, it's fine. It doesn't matter if silence procs. You're going to take them down pretty quick anyways. It's actually really good right there. But normally the other guys pulled also. So you'll have this, you know, I forgot what they're called. Reavers. And the archer, and then sometimes even the crawler coming around, and yeah, you don't want silence when you're trying to deal with that. Right here, I do let them know I am priming the ball. I am not trying to open the door until the tank's fully ready. I don't care. With random groups, that's what I do. It might be wrong in a lot of people's eyes, but if I open that door and those guys come walking out 3 or 4 feet, sometimes it could cause everybody to be outside of that room, and you don't want that. Now right there, I told the guy, hey, don't open it yet. We're gonna try to kill this guy first, and then go, but we ended up getting in the room just fine, so everything worked out. And shout out to a lot of you that I've been meeting out there in the runs. It's been fun, and it's cool. Anytime I come across one of y'all and y'all say hi, so if you see me out there, feel free to say, what's up, Bebop? And don't forget to revive me. Yeah, we should have proc silence before coming in this room. That's our fault as DPS. A little spread out right here. I need to throw my grab well, but I think I kept messing the button rotation up. Been playing a lot of Call of Duty lately, so my New World stuff sliding a little bit in this game. Been grinding them camos. Always let the tank bring the 2 guys down. I try to pull this archer to the group. Apparently that didn't happen right there. And so that was a complete waste of time. Good job, B. It's different with some people, you know, usually 2 or 3 DPS will go take the archer out real quick. And then sometimes you have somebody reap that archer into the group and you just take them all out at once. You can jump off here if you have a group that's good and you're not having many damage. You can jump off, kill yourself. And that way these enemy groups don't spawn. This group's always a tricky group. Usually someone goes down right here almost every time in a random group. So you can avoid this group. Whoever talks to Scylla, just jump off. You'll spawn back at the shrine. Don't come down here from the shrine because you most likely will aggro everybody up top unless you stay to the far left. But it's best just to stay up top and wait for us to come up. I feel like it took way too long to kill that guy. If you ever do pull the archer, you can hide behind that rock to my right there and just lay down and they will come directly to you, so you can line of sight them that way. I was trying to group these 2 together but didn't want to use my grab well because I need that for up top. It's way more important than to get those 2 grouped up. Right here is when I go on the mic and let everybody know proc silence. You don't want to fight this guy in silence. Someone was antsy and was saying, let's go. Oh, that was CP, my boy. But right here, it is hard to see where that boss is and when he's going to do the slam down. But anytime you're DPS in here, you need to have a keen eye on that boss, because if he goes to slam down, you need to block or you need to try to dodge it. But then again, if you get aggro on this archer like that and you don't have any way to CC, then you kind of need to pay attention to both, because the archer can one-shot you also. Watch out for that swing. Right here, this slam down, just block. You could try to dodge and all that stuff, which is fine, but it's so much easier just to block. And a lot of times DPS get taken out right here. This is probably the hardest non-boss slash boss in the game. I mean, I see more groups wipe here than on Scylla or the last boss, and it's not even close. Slam. No, I wasn't doing a good job blocking there. Luckily I survived. Right here, I really probably shouldn't have revived, knowing that we've already had 2 shrines, but you know, felt like it was a pretty good group and that he would be just fine. You just got to kind of gauge that stuff as you're, you know, playing through. Right here, sometimes the healer will shoot the archer to the back right and then hide behind the wall so the archer comes to and everybody can just tank right, or the tank can just hold the enemies right here while DPS go wash the hands. And you can have all the enemies spawn up front and you can really take them out fast. Also, when you wash your hands right there, all you have to do is click E or whatever your binding is, and when you see that meter dodge, it counts it all the same. You don't have to wait for the whole load circle. Healer needs to watch that archer over there, because if he aggroes that archer and doesn't pay attention, then he can get shot in the back real quick. But he does a great job of actually pulling the archer for us and then lining a sight in the archer, and then kind of gets back out where the archer doesn't fully go to him or come to us. So the archer's out there just pecking away. And so you got to be careful about that. If you're going to pull them, you need to be over here to the, you know, the back left of the stairs so the archer has to come to you. Then the tank can get aggro. Alright, here's where I'm going to switch to my Blundy. And it has Vicious, Keenly Jagged, and what is the other thing on there? I don't remember. So if you play Spear, how do I say it? If you play Spear right here and you run Rogue, or if you run Rogue on any of your weapons, Scylla or Chartis, the last boss, they don't have backs, so it will be no use of you to use Rogue. Right here, if you switch to a different set, usually I'll have a different set set up. The ring, I'll go with Keen Awareness. You know, I'll basically get rid of the leeching. So keen awareness, slash damage or thrust damage, and hardy. And that way you have an increased chance of getting a crit. So since Scylla doesn't have a back, you need to increase your crit chance to have a higher DPS output. And yeah, that's a little trick, and a lot of people don't know that, but that will help out. Blunderbuss, just using the grenade to get the bleed and the burns going. It's extra DPS. Also, the blast shot will add 2 stacks of rend. With the Skyward notification with the greatsword, that's another 2 stacks of rend. So just helping everybody out here, trying to do what I can. Watch that spear throw now. Tank tank's doing a great job holding at 25 stacks. Impressive. If the silence does proc right here, it's just fine to go ahead and hit the ball down and pull her out. That way you can get the DPS in. A lot of tanks don't want you to. They want to stay at 25 stack. I guess it's an ego thing. I'm not really sure. But a lot of tanks really want to stay at that 25 to show you they can do it, but you don't really have to. Well, the speedrun crew that I used to run with, we always, when the ball come up, ball go down, and then we just melt. Right here, if you have an ice gauntlet, put it on. Let everybody know in the chat. And if you have 2 ice gauntlets, which someone types in ×2, that means he also has 1. So he's going to put a pylon down on the first button, or whatever you'd call it. I'm going to put the pylon down here on the second. Whatever you do, do not step on the top one until everybody is up there. How many times does that happen? It is so annoying. And then the tank or somebody like a DPS is stuck in the middle room. And if the tank's in the middle room, it's easier to deal with for the tank, because the healer can throw a heal through the door. But just don't be that squad. And then once you're done, you know, I was gonna say fragging out these guys, then you can go downstairs and melt the rest of the squad and get your mob count. That way everybody's together. It's very simple. You don't need the enemies at the very, very bottom. But with a double silence, I always think it's best for the double silence runs to skip this whole like fight right there. Now you need to speed it up on the back end for, you know, time's sake, because you're not going to have mob count. But fighting in double silence in this room is a nightmare. And a lot of times the archer will spawn on the opposite side to the left where we're looking at, where we're actually currently going. And if no one pays attention to that, the archer will pick off the healer, and then dominoes fall from there. Now right here, after we melt some and we get some killed, tank needs to go to the opposite door and stay there the whole time, because if not, those guys run out and it just becomes that over and over and over. Stay right there where that ping is. Tank. I don't know why, but watching people fly around in the fire when they explode is just so funny to me. Never gets old, man. All right, let's go. Don't forget to put your great axe or whatever your main secondary weapon is back on right here. I always forget, it seems like, with the ice gauntlet until we get to the whole next part. Realized right there, like, oh crap, I forgot to put it back on. Now I'm in combat. That great sword feels so good to use sometimes, especially when it's Serenity. Such good damage with it. Proc silence. I'm gonna try to reap them out of the fire as much as I can. Someone should have been working on this door so we can get right through. And then usually it's the healer. And then when we get up there, the healer will go down and get the bag and someone will finish the door. It'll help speed up stuff. This archer is gonna, you need to keep your eye on this archer right here because he will sit back and pick off the healer real quick. I try to reap him, accidentally reap the crawler, and then next thing you know, I got aggro on that, so I'm trying to bring them back to the tank, let them link up, get to know each other, and then come back to the archer. See, these guys going after the healer. I would rather be the one that they attack and knock than the healer. What are we waiting on? Let's go. Oh, that's what we're waiting on. Usually you want to get in the water here to the left of where I'm at. I'm trying to bring this group together. I think someone put vines down and I couldn't get them, but you know, it's all good. We're close enough. All right, if you're good with the great axe, you can pull these together. Ow! Didn't do jack. Nothing is worse. No worse feeling than when you throw a gravity well and nobody moves. It's like, what the hell was that? What the? Right here, I see the tanks down there. He's aggroing. He's gonna try to bring them together. Nice. Everybody waited. Of course, I try to reap him and he grits and then he flies. Happens. Get them together. Oh, fell short. That sucks. Ooh, almost hit 15K right there. 14,972. Can we round up? You can proc silence right here if you want. Also, what I usually do with the grab well is throw it on the boss so he spawns the fire on me here in the back. But going to just show how great I am this game. See, I gotta bring you gameplay that like this. I just screw up over and over. Hey, you know, it ain't all perfect, baby, but we're here to learn, you know, so, you know, I'm out there. Oh my gosh, I almost died. It's perfectly fine to mess up or, you know, get knocked or whatnot, you know, as long as you're trying, you're low enough con to do good damage, and you're learning from your mistakes. That's what it's about. All right, final boss mode. If you did go down to that guy right there, you do want to go back and touch the shrine just in case. Sometimes the boss right here with the hands down or whatnot could be a little weird, especially when it's double silence. If it wasn't double silence, then I would say don't worry about it. But with a double silence and you got to go to the side sometimes, it can be a little bit tricky because not all random groups are going to go to one side, have those silence proc, then rotate to the other like you should. Right here, I tell this guy go ahead and go to the boss because these balls that spawn with the protective shield around them, they don't take slash damage very well, so it does really good against them. And I know he had a spear, and I'd rather him just go to the boss anyways. I'll get this, no problem. A few swings. See how the silence is right there? Normally I would say, hey, pay attention. When it gets ready to proc, go left. Well, it's a random group, so stuff's gonna happen. Oh, 2 went down right there. The best type of damage against ancients is strike, and then thrust, and then last would be slash. So you will see a lot more white numbers with slash attacks. So just be wary of that. You might want keen awareness on your ring, but with the fire, man, you better have leeching. All right, right here at the 4 bar mark, you can get down to 3.5. Is where you want to stop DPS in this guy at. And you want to get back to the ball here. I know one of the guys asked, what are we doing back here? If you keep going, you get past 3.5 health bars, then he doesn't go and put his head down where you're getting like, I think it's time 2 damage. It's not as much as it used to be, but it's still more than what you can do standing up while he's doing all his attacks like right now. So you want him to put his head down so you could do more damage and get him killed quicker. So you stand back, you wait for him to go through his cycle, and then he'll put his head down and you can do your damage. If you didn't,
why are we all here?
You would just have to keep swinging the whole time. That's the phase right there, what he just did. He would go into if you went past 3.5 bars. You would never get him to put his head down again. Get to the far side right here. You can get in the void a little bit right there. It's not going to hurt you. You'll be fine. All right, there it is. Goal run. Hopefully I covered anything you may have questions about. If you have any other questions, something maybe I didn't cover, put it down in the comments. I'll answer it. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. That's Laz Fire Double Silence. Not the best, not the most enjoyable dungeon with the double silence, but hey, we did just fine as a random group. Look at that. So from here on, now that that's done, I'm gonna head to Forge and try to find a group running M3. See what happens. Be sure you check out that video coming later this week, and I might do a gear setup video for this last run. If y'all want that, just let me know, and I'll see you on the next video.